What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. This is Take Your Pick'em. It is Wednesday. It is July 19th, 2023. And I am elated that all of you beautiful people have decided to join me today on this journey that is Pick'em DFS. Hopefully we can help some people make some money along the way. I love this industry. I love the community. And hopefully we can continue down the path of success. This show is not the same without you. And so I just want to thank all of you for joining, watching, listening, subscribing, turn on the notifications, etc. And if you've been watching this show throughout the past couple months, then you know it is time for winning words of wisdom. And this is coming from Cherie Harrison. And this is what Cherie Harrison says. And I think this is going to tie into something we were talking about in the prop shop. We've got some good things in the works, I think, for people to just show the goodness of their hearts towards others. This is what Cherie Harrison says. Doing good is a simple and universal vision, a vision to which each and every one of us can connect and contribute to its realization. A vision based on the belief that by doing good deeds, positive thinking, and affirmative choice of words, feelings, and actions, we can enhance goodness in the world. Good morning, Begas Bites. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. But I think, man, just being able to have a positive impact in the world. There's so many negative people. There's so many people that always want to push you down, that always want to say negative things. But I'm just a believer that if you can continue to build people up, continue to be positive, continue to think positive about yourself, continue to think positively about your family, about your life in general, good things are going to continuously come your way. It's the same thing, you know. I coach basketball, and a lot of times, you know, typically when I'll start out a season, I kind of start out in the same thing. And I coach girls basketball, by the way, and I always tell the girls, listen to me, I have one rule right now, and that rule is if you miss a layup, I don't want you to put your head down, because there's another play going on the end of the court, right? If you miss that layup, I want you to turn around and sprint back and let's get on defense. There's still more games to play, and I think about that in terms of the Pick'em DFS streets. Sometimes you'll have a bad day. Don't worry about missing that layup. Pick your head up, turn around, get back on defense. There are more plays that are coming. And so thank you guys for joining us. That's the winning words of wisdom for today. Mike Hack, my brother, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate your family. Here we go. We're going to go over our recap. We were close yesterday. Now, if you caught it, if you're in the prop shop and you caught the 3-pick from Underdog, I mean, just blew that out of the water. That was a good proposition for us. In terms of the plays on yesterday, from the official tally on the month, and I think I might have said something incorrectly yesterday. I think I said we were 15-5. We were 15-8 as of yesterday. Want to clear that up because I didn't want to put any bad information out there yesterday. On the month, currently we are 17-9. Still having a really good month. On yesterday, we won at Musgrove, less than 1.5 walks. We were able to put that together. That was a win. We won at Montgomery, more than 4.5 strikeouts. We got that one. And then we won at Mr. Wu facing Minnesota, more than 15.5 pitching outs, and that one didn't go our way. So we were 2-1 on yesterday. That brings us to 17-9 on the month. But if you're in the prop shop, we're able to still put some good things together. A lot of good people were posting in there. We had a lot of winners. And then just had a couple bad beats. But overall, it was a really, really, really good day. All right. With that being said, that was yesterday's slate. We've got to move on. It's time to hop to today's slate. And I've got 3 plays that I really like yet again. And I think 3 plays have been working out because you can use those to mix and match. Power plays, you can use those to mix and match, especially on Underdog. Now that Underdog has really beefed up their Major League Baseball offerings, Underdog has been a good proposition for us. And then, of course, like I said, you can mix and match around your 5 picks, your 6 picks, so forth and so on. Boom. Good morning, my brother. Thank you for joining us. As always, you can catch Boom, Mike Hack, and a couple other people in the prop shop daily. All right, we're going to get this thing kicked off. I am going to share my screen, obviously. And there were a couple plays that I wanted to discuss that have already been bumped. So we're going to have to discuss some other plays. Buenos dias, Trip, my brother. Thanks for joining us, man. Miss you, brother. So glad. Trip's one of the more successful guys in the Pick'em streets. Love you, Trip. Good to see you, friend. Thanks for joining me this morning. Here we go. So first up on the list, we're going to go with Ken Waldichuk, and I've got him at 5 strikeouts on the day. I want less than that projection. So with Ken Waldichuk, what we'll see now on the season, he's at 20%, and we've got him at 20.9 to lefties, 19.9% to righties, 24 in the last 30 days, 24%, 31% to lefties, 22% to righties. One of the things that's interesting to me, and this kind of caught me off guard because we do have some projections here in Plate IQ. His line obviously is at 4.5 on the sports books, but we've got him projected at 2.81 strikeouts, which is very alarming for me that we would have him at that low of a number, and that's coming from the RotoGrinders projections, not the bat. I actually am going to pull up the bat score. Let's just see where the bat is at on Waldichuk today, just to give us an idea. Now, the bat has him at 5.15, so we've got kind of a gap there. I'm still going to lean under. We do have some push potential, but I think Boston has enough in this lineup to get rolling here. Now, once again, I do see the bottom of the lineup. We have some strikeouts here, but I'm not going to consider Ken Waldichuk another guy that's a high strikeout guy, generally speaking. I will give you a bonus prop. Now, and when I say bonus, I'm not going to count this in the official tally, but it is one that I think is available for us. We do have Ken Waldichuk at 1.5 walks on Underdog. I did get one card in, I think, this morning with Waldichuk, and I will post it in the prop shop as long as the others haven't bumped. But yeah, we've got Ken Waldichuk at 1.5 walks. I like more than 1.5 walks. But at the 5 strikeouts, I want less than 5 strikeouts. As we can see here, at the top of the lineup, we're not going to see a lot of them. Obviously, Duvall at 37.5. I mean, he's probably, a strikeout waiting to happen. But all in all, I don't think Waldichuk has the goods to get it done today. Boston has been a pretty good team. They've been hitting well. This is an early game as well. So even though it's in Oakland, it's going to be earlier in the day, so we don't have to worry about the ballpark factor as much. In my opinion, it's going to be a little bit warmer than a typical game we would see from Oakland, where it's a little bit later in the evening. So really like this opportunity for us. Once again, we got Waldichuk at 5 strikeouts. I want less than that particular projection. All right, next up, we're going out to Texas. This is an early game. So we want to go ahead and get this one in. Tampa Bay's coming to town, or they're already in town, and they're facing John Gray today, and I'm going to go with John Gray's at 6 strikeouts. I'm going to go with less than 6 strikeouts. Now, as we can see, this is one where our projections have him right at 6, or 6.22 to be exact. John Gray has not had the season that we're used to him having, and John Gray has been a pitcher that over the years I've really liked. He's been a guy that I've used in DFS. He's been a guy that I've attacked in the pick'em streets. I felt like he's always been slightly too low in terms of DFS projections and just counting stats projections. But on the season, we've got Gray at 19.7% strikeouts, 19.4% to lefties, 20% to righties. And in the past 30 days, he's at 14% overall, 13.3% to lefties, 14.5% to righties. And then, of course, we've got Tampa Bay. There will be some strikeouts here, and I understand that. But I also think with the lower strikeout rate of John Gray, I think this is going to balance both sides. So while Tampa Bay may have been striking out a little bit more than they have earlier in the season, when I look at Gray and I look at what he's been able to do in terms of his recent trends and for the season. So on the season, he's still a lot lower than what I'm used to. Now, I'm kind of used to John Gray being in that 24 to 25% K rate area. He's just not there this season. And then over the past 30 days, we've just really seen a tick down. He has had some injuries kind of nicked up throughout the year as well. And maybe that's contributing. But all in all, at 6 strikeouts, I want less than that particular projection. I definitely think this is another one that's advantageous for us. When we look at what he's throwing, John Gray has always been a fastball guy, throwing about 96 miles per hour, and then he's slider. Mostly fastball, slider, a little bit of changeup, a little bit of curveball, a little bit of sweeper. But when guys are going to be throwing fastballs, I'm going to show you here with Tampa Bay. You will see that most teams are going to hit fastballs well, especially with C. So when you look at the K rate, say you've got Siri and Low that are a little bit higher on the spectrum, but all in all, everyone 25% below. It's still a little high, but once again, I think at 6 strikeouts, I think that's a touch too high for John Gray. If it was 5.5, I probably would have just avoided it altogether. If it was 5, I definitely would have let it go. At 6, I think it's advantageous for us to continue to get in on less than 6 strikeouts. Once again, he's throwing a slider, and you'll see a lot of teams, they don't hit sliders well, but that's not his primary pitch. And also, once again, he just hasn't been able to get the strikeouts this season. So I like this particular one for us. John Gray at 6 strikeouts. I want less than that particular projection. Now, this one is another one, and it looks like we're going to be on the less train today. We're going out to Seattle, and usually I wouldn't do this, folks. I usually wouldn't do this. We've got Luis Castillo. We've got him at 8 strikeouts today. I'm going to go with less than 8 strikeouts, folks. When I'm looking at Luis Castillo, something's going wrong here. And I'm going to dig into Baseball Savant a little bit later today after the show. I was kind of digging in some other places as well. But something is going on. I talked with one of my friends, good friends in the industry, and it looks like Castillo's kind of been pitching to contact. I don't know why. But once again, we do have him projected at 7.5 strikeouts, and I think that's the correct call because of the fact that he is facing a really high strikeout Minnesota Twins offense. But with the recent change, and we've seen a downtick in the strikeouts as well, 26% on the season, 26% to lefties, 27% to righties, 19% in the past 30 days, 22% to lefties, 17% to righties. Still not walking a lot of bats, which is great, which means we're going to see some pitches in the strike zone. And once again, I do understand that Minnesota is a very high strikeout team, and I've got Brent. Brent is saying versus the Twins, though. Brent, I agree. If this was at 6.5, 7, I'd probably avoid it altogether. At 8, though, Brent, for me, once again, I think this is a touch too high for a guy that looks like he's pitching slightly differently over the past month. And it's not just the strikeout rate. If you watch the game, it's like he's pitching the contact a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's a philosophy change. I'm not sure if maybe his arm's a little tired. Maybe he's trying to get through some innings and not just blow through the season. I'm not sure yet. Once again, Brent, I am going to dig into Baseball Savant and see if I can see if there's been massive spin rate changes, if there have been strikeout plane changes, anything like that. Some velocity changes that are a little bit out of whack. So good question, Brent, or good observation. Once again, I'm always on board to attack the Twins with overs. I just think at 8, it's a little bit too high. It's a little bit too high. Now, once again, he could easily push on this, and I understand it. But once again, I do like less than that particular projection, especially as we've seen that strikeout rate come down over the past 30 days. I do see the K rates. Once again, you're right. The Twins are striking out a ton, and the Twins are a team that I'm going to attack. But I just don't want to do it with Castillo today. In fact, I actually thought prior to all the lines being released, I thought Castillo might have come in at 6.5 today, just because he's had such a rough go of it recently. And when I saw the line at 8, I said, whoa, that really stuck out to me. I think it's just a touch too high. So once again, I'm going to be less than this particular projection here. And you can get all of these still on PrizePicks right now. I've got a check. And Biggest Bite says Castillo's line has moved on Underdog. So we're going to have to get that on PrizePicks if we want to get it at 8, and probably Vivid as well. Let me check Vivid really quickly before we put a bow on this thing, because I want to make sure we've got enough. We have enough sites to get access to what we're trying to accomplish today. So I'm hopping on Vivid quickly because I want to make sure that at least we've got enough opportunities to get in there on it. So just bear with me here. I'm doing this live. And we'll do our recap, and we will get out of your hair. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the show. Hopefully you've been winning. And I definitely want you guys to – yes, Castillo is still at 8 on Vivid as well. So if you want to get the Castillo line at 8, once again, we're going less than that projection. I think that's a good opportunity for us. So let's go through our recap, and then we will get you guys out of here. I'll post some stuff in the prop shop. And hopefully, if you guys are in the prop shop, come in and hang out with us. We'd love to have you. So we've got Luis Castillo at 8 strikeouts. We want less than that projection. Also, we've got Ken Waldichuk at 5 strikeouts. We want less than that projection. We've got John Gray at 6 strikeouts. We want less than that projection. Folks, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support for the show, for this industry. I'm Chief. This has been Take Your Pick'em. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. Let's continue to have a great month. Let's get the sweep, and I'll see you tomorrow.